G'day everyone, and thanks for stopping by today. Well, I've got my art journal here, and this is the Black Paper Mill one, and I have created a few pages in here already, and I just want to adapt a few of the pages in this art journal today. So Diane Reevely does this really well in her art journal. I've got this wavy border ruler here. It's pretty flimsy, but I'm going to use it with a white charcoal pencil just to draw some wavy lines onto the page here. Now I am going to cut this right hand side of the page off, but what I'll do is once I actually do cut this off, I will keep it and I will adapt it into my art journal somehow. So I'm going to repeat this process with the wavy line again and just cut off the excess paper from the page. Diane Reevely does this so well and so inspirational how she does it that I thought I'd give it a go in this art journal today. So all these leftover pieces here I'm going to keep and adapt it into my art journal somehow. Now I have gessoed the page just to make it white, and I've got some Montmartre yellow acrylic paint here which I'm just going to paint all over. I'm going to do a bit of a messy sort of a page today, so I did want this a lighter colour. So because my art journal is black, I do cover it in gesso before painting as well, so that'll teach me for checking it out before I buy it. Now I've got this Kaisercraft stencil that I'm going to be using because it's a bit of a messy stencil, which I do really like. I've got some Montmartre orange paint here which I'm just going to stencil through onto my page here. Now all the supplies that I am using today will be over on my website, and that website link will be down below, so be sure to check out what I do use. Now any leftover paint that I've got I'm just using through the stencil into my smaller Dylusions art journal page. I'm going to do exactly the same, but just with the colour violet through this stencil onto the page. Once again, using any leftover paint into my art journal page. Now I've got a script stamp here, and because it's a bit of a messy background as well, I'm just going to use that just to fill up any gaps on my page. I also thought that I would just add some circles with the orange and violet colour as well, and just going through and just randomly popping these onto my page. This is really a fun way to create some effects onto your page. Now I've previously stamped and coloured in some stamps, and these are both Dylusion stamps, so legs 11 and put a bird on it. So I've already coloured them, and I'm going to put the legs on the birds just for something a little bit different, because I'm a little bit obsessed with the legs 11 stamp set. And I've just received that. If you haven't checked out my last art journal, I'll link that in the top right hand corner, and yeah, it's a really fun art journal page. Now I want these to stick out on my page, but because I've got such a busy background, I am going to create a mask where I will actually paint some black paint for these birds to sit on. So I've just got some scrap photocopy paper, and I'm just cutting out a shape, and this is what I will use to paint the inside of this, so my birds can sit on top of it so it won't actually get lost in the background. So here's my masks all done, and I've just got a makeup sponge, and I'm just sponging on around the outside just to create that line, and then I'll just use a paintbrush just to go and paint in the middle there. So as you can see, my birds are going to pop off the page with that bit of black background there, and I'm just going to use some glue just to glue my birds down. So I'm just going to use some Eileen's tacky glue just to glue the birds on. Now I've got a white gel pen here, and I'm just going to doodle onto my page here. So first of all, I'm going to do a border around all my birds here, and then I'll create some checkers around the border. Now I'm also going to use my ruler to paint in a wavy line as well, because I'm going to doodle on here as well. So just going to use my black paint here and just paint that in. So I'm going to do it on all 4 sides. I've got my Posca pen here and I'm just going to doodle all around the border except for one side. Now on this side of the border, so this is the right hand side of my page, I'm actually going to write my quote on here. So I'm just going to paint it with some black paint and get that dried before I actually do my quote. So I'm just going to finish off by writing a quote onto my page here, and I'm going to use a white fine Posca pen, and I've got my wavy line here, and the quote that I'm going to put on this page here is "We are what we believe." So I love doing this type of writing. It really is relaxing, and yeah, I just love it. So Diane Reevely really inspires me, and I would say she's one of my inspirators at the moment. So I've got a few more stamps coming of hers. I've got the cats coming, and I also purchased just recently her alphabet her stamps. So I'm really looking forward to getting those, and I'll be using them in up and coming videos, I'm guessing. But I really do like where this page has gone. I had no idea what I was doing. The only thing that I knew was I wanted to cut about 5 pages with the wavy page, but overall I think this has turned out really, really well. So it's all about just going for it and just get creative. So that's my page finished for today, and I hope this has inspired you also. It's just been a really fun way of just getting in and just creating today. I do love the legs 11. I just think they're so fun, and those birds, how can you resist? So if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to my channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. See ya!